Hello and a warm welcome to our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. President Bola Tinubu has called for more collaborative efforts between the federal, councils and traditional rulers in spreading development across the country. He said that the successful execution of plans was already being seen with changes that will transform the economy through financial re-engineering of the country. Tinubu spoke during a reception held yesterday in his honor by the government and people of Lagos State at the Lagos House Marina. He said the reach of the councils and the powers of traditional rulers in the society would be harmonized to provide the needed infrastructure and socio-economic development to people at the grassroots. According to him, the councils can complement the various efforts at ending poverty and terrorism through the provision of education, increasing enrollment through the school feeding program, as well as making quality primary health care accessible to the people. The president therefore pledged to work with the National Assembly in ensuring that constitutional roles are given to traditional rulers and also independence for the councils. Niger State Governor Mohamed Bago has signed the state's 2024 613.2 billion naira budget into law. The governor signed the budget on Wednesday, hours after the State Assembly passed the budget, noting that the budget holds a lot and assured residents that it will be implemented accordingly. Speaking after signing the appropriation bill, Bago commended the effort of the legislators for the quick passage of the bill, saying it was unprecedented. He restated his administration's commitment to strengthening the existing synergy with the legislative arm, adding that he has directed that the legislative quarters at the three-arm zone be completed in the next 3 months for them to have a befitting accommodation. Bago warned officials of his government not to generate and spend the state's revenue or face his wrath. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC, Federal Capital Territory Command, has arrested 82 suspected vandals and 22 illegal miners from August till date. The FCT commandant of the NSCDC, Olushola Odumusu, gave the figures during an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria on Thursday in Abuja. Odumusu said that 20 suspects were arrested in connection with manhole cover theft and vandalism of critical national assets and infrastructure. He said that 5 suspects were arrested in September for alleged vandalism of electrical cables, 14 for alleged vandalism of other public property, and 2 others for alleged television theft. The commandant said that the other suspects include 28 persons nabbed for the alleged railway vandalism and destruction of other critical national assets. The Office of the Special Central Bank of Nigeria investigator has rejected a request by the chairman of the Titan Trust Bank Limited, Babatunde Lemo, for rescheduling the December 28, 2023 meeting with investigators till January 7th. The investigator warned that the failure of Lemo and other major shareholders of the TTB to attend today's meeting may lead to the forfeiture of their shareholding and interest in Titan Trust Bank and Union Bank Nigeria PLC. This was contained in a letter to the TTB chairman dated December 27, 2023, and signed by the head of operations office of the special investigator, Eloho Okpoziakpo, a deputy commissioner of police. The letter was a response to a letter from Lemo's lawyers seeking a shift of today's meeting until January. The resurgence of the diphtheria in 2023 emerged as an unexpected and formidable foe, challenging health systems across the country. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, noted that people most at risk of contracting diphtheria are children and adults who have not received any or a single dose of the tetravalent vaccine, people who live in crowded environments, in areas with poor sanitation, and healthcare workers who are exposed to suspected or confirmed cases of diphtheria. More than 500 people, mostly children, have died of diphtheria in Nigeria since the current outbreak began in 2022. Data published by the NCDC spanning Epic Week 19, 2022 to Epic Week 48, 2023 indicates that 20,684 suspected cases have so far been reported from 33 states across 280 local government areas. Kano State, the epicenter of the disease, with 13,461, followed by Yobe with 2,234, Katsina with 1,509, Bauchi with 1,139, and Borno with 968, Kaduna 486, and Jigawa with 256 accounted for 96.9% of suspected cases reported. Of the 20,684 suspected cases, 12,086 were confirmed cases distributed across 148 local government areas in 20 states. You're watching the news cycle live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When news cycle returns, Russia reopens embassy in Burkina Faso closed in 1992. The news continues shortly with details of this and more stories right after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back from the break. On the foreign scene, the Israeli embassy in South Korea has removed a video showing an imagery scenario in which Koreans are attacked by masked assailants in Seoul, a reference to Hamas. Seoul's foreign ministry said Thursday. The video, which is no longer available on the embassy's social media, depicted a distressing scenario in which a South Korean woman in the capital is abducted by an armed assailant on Christmas Day and forcibly separated from her young daughter. The Israeli embassy wrote alongside the now removed video posted on its Facebook account on Tuesday. On October 7th, Israel was attacked by Hamas terrorists. 1,200 men, women, and children were killed, and over 240 people were taken hostage in Gaza. More than 40 people were feared dead when a tanker truck exploded after crashing in central Liberia, the country's chief medical officer said on Wednesday. The tanker carrying gasoline crashed and tipped into a ditch along a road in Totota, about 130 kilometers from the capital Monrovia. Dr. Francis Kete said it was difficult to determine the number of victims because some had been reduced to ashes, but he estimated that more than 40 people were killed in the incident. Police earlier put the death toll at 15 and said at least 30 people were injured as locals gathered at the scene. Britain on Thursday lifted some costly obstacles placed on school trips post-Brexit, but only for students from France, as campaigners called for all EU countries to benefit. The U-turn follows talks earlier this year over the issue between Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and French President Emmanuel Macron. French and EU nationals at schools in France who cross the Channel for a language learning holiday will now need to carry only a simple identity card, as was the case before the UK formally departed the European Union in 2021. While non-EU nationals attending French schools will still need a passport to enter the UK on a language learning holiday, London has scrapped the need for them to have a visa costing £115 British Educational Travel Association, which has seen demand for school trips tumble since Brexit, described Thursday's changes as a positive step ahead, while urging the UK government to expand them for the entire European Union. Russian and US space agencies have agreed to keep working together to deliver crews to the International Space Station ISS until at least 2025. Russian collaboration Roscosmos said Thursday the space sector, including its so-called cross-flight that involves sending crews from different nationalities on one spacecraft, is a rare area of cooperation remaining between Moscow and Washington since Russia sent troops to Ukraine. It also aims to guarantee the presence of at least one representative of the Roscosmos on the Russian segment and the presence of at least one representative of NASA on the American segment. Russian said in April that it planned to use International Space Station until 2028, an apparent reversal of an earlier announcement to quit the orbiting laboratory after 2024. Russia on Thursday reopened its embassy in Burkina Faso after a gap of nearly 32 years, the West African nation's government and a Russian diplomat said. The mission was closed in 1992. The Russian ambassador to Ivory Coast, Alexis Satkov, said Russian President Vladimir Putin would name the new envoy. The Burkinabe Foreign Ministry confirmed this in a statement. Satkov said he would head the mission in Burkina Faso until the new ambassador is named, and described Burkina Faso as an old partner with whom we have solid and friendly ties. Burkina Faso last year experienced two military coups, both triggered in part by discontent at failures to stem a raging jihadist insurgency. In business, the federal government, through the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has fined British American Tobacco, BAT, and its affiliate companies $110 million. This is for alleged infringement of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act, National Tobacco Control Act, and sundry legal instruments. The FCCPC said on Wednesday in a statement. In addition, the Commission said BAT must subject itself to compliance and monitoring for a period of 24 months, mandatory public health and tobacco control advocacy, and provisions of reading assurances to the Commission. The Nigerian stock market resumed trading on Wednesday after the Christmas holidays with a loss of 139.34 billion naira due to profit taking. The Nigerian Exchange Limited All Share Index and market capitalization both declined by 0.34%, moving down from preceding days at 74,023.27 points and 40.507 trillion naira respectively to 73,768.64 points and 40.367 trillion naira. The NGX year-to-date return was at 43.94%, while the total volume traded advanced by 2.27% to close at 432.91 million naira, valued at 12.94 billion naira, and traded in 8.901 deals. At the close of trading, the market recorded 38 gainers, 21 lost, and 61 unchanged. Nigerian companies entered the final quarter of the year with a cash reserve of 2.3 trillion naira, the largest cash balance in recent history. This data was compiled from over 30 of the largest companies listed on the Nigerian exchange over the calendar year from January to December. The data excludes commercial banks and insurance companies whose business models allow them to receive cash on behalf of their customers. The cash balances of the companies under consideration represents a 27% increase from 1.8 trillion naira reported as cash and cash equivalent at the end of 2022. These companies reported a total revenues of 8.05 trillion naira in the period under review. The cash balances underscore the liquidity of Nigerian companies in a year fraught with macroeconomic challenges and subsequent monetary policy tightening. Moreover, this year, the economy recorded its highest money supply in history, surpassing 66 trillion naira by the end of September 2023. Asian stocks were trading largely higher on Thursday, with Hong Kong leading the gains as investors worked on expectations the U.S. Federal Reserve will cut rates next year. Global markets have been on the front foot since the Federal's most recent meeting, when it signaled its rate hike cycle could be nearing an end as global inflation slows. The Japanese exchange's performance was also hemmed by the fact that the right to claim dividends for many shares has now expired, driving down the overall market. Hong Kong and Seoul led regional gains across Asia, with the Hang Seng closing more than 2.5% up. And in the world of sport, Tottenham Hotspur's Son Heung-min was named the South Korean Asian Cup squad on Thursday, and coach Jürgen Klinsmann said it was about time they ended their 64-year continental title drought. Wolves forward Han Hee-chan, who scored his 10th Premier League goal of the season against Brentford on Wednesday, was also among Klinsmann's 26-man selection for the tournament, which kicks off in Qatar on January 12. Song will captain a squad that includes Bayern Munich defender Kim Min-jae and 22-year-old Paris Saint-Germain attacking midfielder Lee Kang-in. South Korea have been drawn in Group E and will face Malaysia, Jordan and Bahrain in the first round. That's it on the news cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times Channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and all the handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching and see you soon.